Good afternoon, gentlemen. Active Aussie here. It's a bit of a miserable Monday afternoon here in Brisbane. A few years ago, I listened to a video by, I think it was Ohio Dan, and the title was Stop Caring, or Just Stop Caring, I think it was. And recently, especially in the past, you could say 18 months or so, I've really felt that sort of way myself. And I just want to talk about how I feel that many people nowadays, many individuals are just totally obsessed with trivia. And as you know, I like to get out and about, and I go to different places and I observe and watch what's going on. Unlike some of these people who I feel spend a lot of time at home, like you see some of these channels on YouTube, and people are in like a fake type of studio within their house and they have the oversized microphone. It's just really cringe sometimes, but I'm different to that. I like to get out and do a lot of different things. Anyway, I digress a little. I was at a cafe that I frequent fairly often. This would have been maybe 6 months ago or so, I remember. And there was a woman in there talking to her friend. This woman was about 50 years old, so sort of around my vintage. And she was saying to her friend, she was talking about her 20-year-old son, and she's saying, "Oh, I'm worried about him. He has no direction in life, and he just has this crappy job working at a warehouse. How is he ever supposed to meet a woman and get married?" And this is exactly the sort of narrative that has developed nowadays. All sort of responsibility is placed upon men, especially young men, but young women are not told to improve themselves, improve their moral and ethical quality, so to speak, but it's always men who are told, "Oh, you just have to go out and improve yourself and do this, do that, just do X, Y, Z, and everything will be okay." It's just a lot of bullshit. So it's either women telling men to man up, so to speak, or you hear this trivial garbage like people talking about Australian Idol, who's going to win, for instance, or some talking about some rubbish sort of game show. This is the sort of thing you will hear if you eavesdrop. You overhear quite a few conversations. So it's just a very superficial sort of type of society. And I'm just talking about an experiences here in Australia, but I'm sure some of you other guys have come across the same sort of scenarios that I've experienced. So it's just very, very different now in 2024, and I really wish sometimes there was like a time machine and you could go back to the, even say mid-1990s, but that's never going to happen. And all this social media has fucked things up as well, so I don't see how things are going to get better. And you hear guys saying, "Oh, I'll just wait for the collapse and wait for Western society to collapse." I really don't think that's going to happen. I feel a lot of men are just going to leave Western countries, but the women are still going to have it on easy street, and you'll have a lot of simps who are just going to stick around, and that always makes it easy for many women out there. And another problem with these so-called passport bros is that some guys can only afford to do this on a part-time basis, or they can't do it at all. So they talk about doing it, but they don't actually do it. Just wanted to put these ideas out there, and hopefully you guys can let me know what you think about this. I appreciate your feedback, as always, as usual. Really shitty weather today, and it's going to be like this for the next 3 or 4 days, maybe till Friday even. So I really hate this weather. It's a bit depressing. If you're one of those guys who has the SAD, the seasonal affective disorder, and some guys suffer from this, so you have this lack of sunlight, if it continues for like a week or so, it can have a bad effect on your mood. And this sort of weather really sort of gets me down if it lasts a bit too long. So hopefully the sun will come out later in the week, but I'm not sure. Anyway, gents, that's all for now. I'll upload this video a bit later. I'll talk to you again soon, I hope.